Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Patrick Leahy. I'm the Vice President for University Relations here at the University of Scranton. On behalf of Father Pilares, whom you'll hear from in just a minute, and the entire university community, I want to welcome you to the DeNaples Center here on the campus of the University of Scranton for this special campaign event. I wanted to tell you a quick story. Just last night I was tucking my girls into bed, 11 and 9, and I was explaining to them that their mom and dad were going to be out tonight. And my 11-year-old said, "Well, where are you going to go?" And I said, "Well, we have a campaign event at the university." And my 11-year-old said, "Dad, you're sort of kind of the chief fundraising guy at the university, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, that's right. I'm the one who begs for money on behalf of the university." And my 9-year-old said, "I bet you're good at that." She says, "I always see you begging Mom for money." So I promise you there will be no begging tonight, but we did want to introduce you to the Pride, Passion, Promise campaign. Those of you who don't know about the campaign, introduce it to you, and those that do, give you a comprehensive update on where we are with the campaign at this juncture. And I'd like to introduce the campaign this way.
The University of Scranton's 120-year legacy is characterized by bold decisions and remarkable moments of opportunity. The estate represents one of those moments. The Scranton family offered the structure as a gift in 1942. The estate provided the housing necessary for the Jesuits to assume the care of the university, which profoundly changed the course of the institution. The estate exemplifies the spirit of giving, which inspires our sense of community and the positive impact of transformation that continues today.
This video, of course, introduces two concepts. The first is the campaign name, Pride, Passion, and Promise. These words are chosen with care, of course. Pride to recall the university's accomplishments through its first 120 years or so. Passion to convey the unique dedication and spirit that is the hallmark of this university. And promise to suggest the limitless possibilities that exist in the future. That's what the campaign really celebrates in a way, the past, the present, and the future. The second concept is the campaign logo, the infinity icon. We chose this icon since no other symbol better exemplifies all that has come before and all that lies ahead. And as you saw in the video, it's pulled directly from the estate. Most of you know the estate. It was the single greatest gift that this university ever received in its history, probably, the most transformative gift it's ever received. And we hope it exemplifies the spirit of giving that we want to foster during this capital campaign. So we'd like to take some time tonight to share with you the pride, the passion, and the promise that's here at the University of Scranton. We officially started this campaign in early 2006 and launched it publicly in April of 2008. And when we did so, we announced a bold goal to raise $100 million for the university, to transform our campus by creating a 21st century living and learning environment, and to secure our future by growing our endowment and increasing the Royal Fund. We're now in the final phase of the campaign when we reach out to all the Scranton constituents, alumni, of course, parents, friends, members of the community, even employees will be reached out to in hopes that they might support this effort. In fact, one of the goals we have, in addition to $100 million, is to have 25,000 unique donors to the campaign. We're at about 20,500, so we still have a little bit to go, but we're making great progress in that area as well. As you'll see when you hear from Father and others, this is an unprecedented fundraising effort at the university, which is literally transforming the campus and securing the future of this university. Let me thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. We know it's a busy time of year. May in particular can be a busy time of year, so we're really appreciative that you would come out. There are a few people, if I may, that I would like to recognize in a special way this evening. And I'd like to start with the individuals for whom this beautiful theater is named. Please join me in welcoming Ann and Leo Moskovitz, who are here tonight. When we finish our presentation here and adjourn to the ballroom across the way for our party, remember the individual for whom that meeting space is named. He's joined us tonight. He's a great friend of this university, of course, and I know a great personal friend to many of you, the Reverend Bernard R. McElhaney of the Society of Jesus. Father. Since I'm recognizing clergy, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the Bishop Emeritus of the Diocese of Scranton, the Most Reverend James C. Timlin, who's joined us tonight. Bishop Timlin, thank you. We have one current trustee who's here with us today, Maggie Mariotti. Thank you, Maggie, for your service to the university. And we have three former chairs of our board here with us tonight, three former chairs. Jim Haggerty is here, Dr. Jerry Tracy is here, and Frank McDonald is here. Thank you, the three of you, for your service. I'd like to point out that under Frank McDonald's stewardship of the Board of Trustees, he made what was one of the great decisions in the history of the university. That is bringing Father Pallars here to the University of Scranton. You can probably tell with that compliment that I work for Father Pallars and that the year-end performance reviews are coming up. So there are a bunch of former trustees. I'd just like to recognize them all at once. I promise you we'll continue with the program. I already mentioned Bishop Timlin, and I already mentioned Ann Moskovitz, two former members of our board. Let me recognize also Dr. Jay Bannon, Sister Gabriel Kane, George Lynett, Mary McDonald, Maury Myers, Monsignor Purcell, Dave Tressler, and Bill Young are all here. Thank you all for your service to the university over the years. It might be easier next time to recognize those of you who have not yet served on the board. And there's one final introduction I'd like to make. As all of you know, this institution started out as St. Thomas College, and when the Jesuits took over stewardship of the university in the early 1940s, they changed the name to the University of Scranton. We have among us tonight an alumnus from St. Thomas College, from the class of 1937. He graduated from this institution 73 years ago, and he joined us here tonight. I'd like to welcome in a special way Mr. Michael Altier. Mr. Altier, thank you. So thank you all for being here. We have a mix of video presentations and speakers tonight. We're going to hear from a student, a donor, and of course, Father Pallars. I'd like to begin, if I may, by asking our student to introduce to you what pride, passion, and promise means to her. Her name is Rita DeLeo, and she is a junior philosophy major from Factoryville, Pennsylvania. Rita is also the incoming president of the university's student government. But before I turn the podium over to Rita, I'd like to introduce just another short video for you that celebrates that university that we call Scranton.
The University of Scranton has always played a vital role in the history of this city and this region.
People choose Jesuit schools for a reason. At Scranton, I was welcomed in a different way than I was at other universities.
Our alumni have been extremely successful.
Every fall, there's someone there to help back up.
Service opportunities have really transformed me.
Jesuit education and Ignatian education is why we're here. The reputation of the institution is wonderful.
The University of Scranton sits in the most competitive academic market in the United States, the Northeast.
You find your place in this world because of the preparation that you had at Scranton.
It's very important to have the right kind of facilities to be able to attract students and continue to serve them well.
It's transforming this campus in a very material way.
I am so proud to be a member of this university.
No matter where we are, there's always a little bit of Scranton with us.
This place is happening, and it's happening now. I want to be a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Rita DeLeo. Rita?
Good evening, everyone. This is finals week. Presentations, exams, papers. But this, however, was one presentation that I welcomed because it gives me the opportunity to share my passion for this university. My challenge, there are other presentations tonight, and I don't have an unlimited amount of time, but I'm going to try to paint a comprehensive picture of the University of Scranton from my perspective. 3 years ago, I arrived on this campus. I assumed I was going to learn, grow as a person, mature. However, I didn't expect such a transformation. In one of the many packets accepted students receive is an information to attend first, a retreat that is designed on students being welcomed to the campus and doing service together for an entire week before convocation. So this is what I did, even though I was a little nervous boarding that bus, and it was a new adventure, even though I like to travel. But the leaders of First were senior students who had come to know and to love this campus. They made us feel comfortable and give us direction and insight. At the time, I did not realize how these people would influence my life and how it was the only beginning. My freshman year, I was the person who joined every club. I wanted to be involved and to know everyone. If the club president smiled, gave me a pen and sign-up sheet, I joined. These clubs ranged from the academic organizations to sports clubs. Initially, it was a great idea. However, I realized I didn't just want to go to meetings, set up for events, get a t-shirt. I wanted to feel something. I wanted to be a part of change. Most important, I wanted to make my voice matter. With my wide array of interests, I wasn't sure where to focus my attention. Then I found student government. Chris Molatoris was the student body president at the time, and he was the leader who had more than just a smile and a sign-up sheet. He had a unique energy that excited everyone on the Senate. Although I had never been involved in this type of extracurricular activity, I felt this magnetic pull to just take a chance and run for freshman senator. A few weeks after being elected, I realized that I was right about his energy being contagious. In no time, I saw the difference one person can make, how the University of Scranton enables students to use their voice and achieve their aspirations. Through government meetings and campus involvement, I quickly observed how students on this campus could do just that. They could empower themselves. So all it took was stepping out of your boundaries. And yes, we are both a Catholic and Jesuit university. Academic scholarship is undoubtedly a focus. Securing education and developing life skills are imperative. However, on this campus, attaining knowledge is more than just an end in itself. The ability to think critically, to have pride, to be passionate is instilled in us through experience and meant for us to share with the rest of the world. And this sharing with the world is convenient. As I said, I love to travel and be adventurous. My mom always said that I never unpacked because I was always ready to visit my relatives who were out of town or go to the beach while growing up. And travel was always recreation, until freshman year, the Community Outreach Office offered a trip over intercession to Alaska. I was so excited after applying that I had the opportunity to go on this trip. That 1 week in Anchorage truly impacted my life. Our group of 9 served lunch and soup kitchens, organized food pantries, and volunteered at homeless shelters. We actually stayed at the Jesuit Volunteer Corps' home, one of which was a Scranton graduate. Staying at this house made the service immersion so much more powerful. Although I was miles away from Scranton's campus, we were able to still have that Scranton sense of community. It was not simply service hours, but reflection on our efforts, on the people we served, and how blessed we were to offer our help. The impact this had on me, I couldn't help but bring back to campus. After Alaska, seeing the, at times, heartbreaking conditions there, I realized that I could be an agent for change no matter what subject I major in. I simply needed to live out that Jesuit ideal of being a woman for others. So, student government, my service trip to Alaska, and addressing all of you tonight were certainly not things that I had anticipated being part of my undergraduate experience. However, here I stand as the current president of student government who focuses on living generously in the service of others. The ability to transform to this degree is the type of learning experience that makes Scranton unique. I think thoroughly, care deeply, and act deliberately to live out the Jesuit ideal magis, that restless desire for excellence. The first retreat I discussed earlier, I just learned that I've been selected to be a leader for the incoming class of 2014. In 3 years, my campus life has come full circle, from following to leading in both student government and this retreat. That is uniquely Scranton, and as I've been saying, empowering. Over spring break, my mom brought up the frightening idea of graduating next year, and we were talking about when I was a freshman. She went on to say, I can tell when you share your stories, when you talk about your meetings with your professors, or when I see pictures of you and your friends. I know you, and I know that you are truly happy. She proceeded to say that Dr. Curley was right. And at first, I looked at her fairly confused, and then she reminded me of a speech that Dr. Curley gave on the day of my convocation in 2007. In summary, he quoted a great author and told us that where we are born is where we learn and where we grow. Further, that the place where we are born is our home. My mom ended by saying, even though you are not home, here with your brother and I know at the University of Scranton, you are. Although I do not always admit this, Mom was right once again. And so are you, Dr. Curley. I am at home, and I know I always will be. Yes, the campus has drastically transformed over the past 3 years, and with the current plans in progress, the changes continue. But that's just what Scranton does. It constantly gives students something to look forward to, while always retaining that same feeling of home. I'm extremely grateful for all the opportunities that Scranton has given me, and I am confident that this feeling will remain ever untouched. So tonight, while everyone welcomes you to the rest of the event, I would also like to welcome you to my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita, for your comments, and thank you for representing the university so well. Now I'd like to introduce to you our president, the Reverend Scott Pillards of the Society of Jesus. Father Pillards is completing his 7th year as the president here at the University of Scranton. As many of you know, he joined the University of Scranton from his alma mater, Georgetown University, where he served as a professor of English and as the university chaplain. But before Father Pillards speaks, I'd like to introduce his remarks with one other video presentation, this one specifically on the campaign. Let's watch.
So what's going on in Scranton, Pennsylvania this morning?
You don't just get an education.
Giving back to others.
Sense of community on the campus.
The quality of the students at the university.
They are so loyal to the university.
There's always a little bit of Scranton with us.
Well, it's becoming better and better and better.
You've given me an experience I don't want to let go of.
We look back on our 120-year history with tremendous satisfaction based on what people have done, generations have done, to build this institution, to help fulfill the promise made by Bishop O'Hara at the time of our foundation.
The community has a spirit that just draws you in and really nurtures your growth.
And it cares about the rest of the world.
That was good. Very nice. Okay, this group. Everybody here, they know your name. Professors are really easy to talk to. You can get anything that you need from them, and they're really willing to help. And I love it. Like, I'm so glad that I came.
We're very proud of our students. We're proud of our Jesuit heritage. We're proud of the traditions and the accomplishments of the university.
He's had brothers and sisters attend as well, and I've had a sister attend here too, so it's a real family affair.
There really is a strong bond here between the students. Students support each other, between faculty, and also the staff.
The education at Scranton goes far beyond the classroom, and that's not by accident, that's by design. And it's fostered by the whole community here.
I always tell my students, do something that you love. Do something that you're passionate about.
And they have a passion about teaching students here at Scranton.
It's really nice. The class size is small. He knows all of his teachers. We have another son that's coming here next year. We've been thrilled as parents, and we were thrilled as students, so it's been a great choice all around for our whole family.
Exciting time to be at the University of Scranton because we have so much potential right now. We have so much promise.
We think that the campaign is accomplishing two very important goals for the university. The first is to transform our campus through capital projects, starting with the Naples Center, then Conrad Hall, and ultimately a new science building. The second is to secure our future, to grow the university's endowment through scholarships and financial aid so that Scranton remains an affordable option. We also want to make sure that we provide the best resources for our world-class faculty.
This school needs the resources to stay competitive so that it can continue to attract students in a highly competitive higher education marketplace.
We have a great responsibility to our students, to our faculty, to our alumni, to really keep pace with our peer institutions, and in fact, to outpace our peer institutions.
The university is in the process of building the largest structures that we've ever done. The Naples Center, Conrad Hall, our planned science building. It's transforming this campus in a very material way.
We want to compete for the best and brightest students.
The Naples Center is a dream come true.
With the addition of the Naples Center, I think there's a new life to campus. I think people are excited to walk in here and gather.
The new student center looks fabulous when you drive up Mulberry. It's right in the middle, and it's one of the first things that you see when you look at our university.
Conrad Hall will be a place where the sophomore class can really grow in a community together and be more connected than the other classes have been. And I think it's a great development for the university.
The dormitory is, I think, what every parent wants.
At least 2 science courses.
Education is not just about facts, it's about learning how to learn. And a new facility that will allow students to really participate more deeply in that process is perhaps the biggest thing we can do, not just for the community, but for the students that come through here for generations.
A new science facility is going to serve every single student in the university.
What we're trying to do is break out of this traditional walls that keep science separated from everything else.
Facilities wear out. Facilities get old, facilities get tired, and they need to be replaced. When that science building is complete, visitors are going to come to the University of Scranton, and they will not be able to tell the difference between the science building and the campus center. That's how active and dynamic that science building is going to be.
Where there is no margin, there is no mission. Where there is no great endowment, it's a school that has to struggle.
Without scholarships, I would not have been able to attend the University of Scranton.
We want to make sure that we provide the university the resources to maintain its place in the world, not only in terms of the academic arena, but in people's lives.
My scholarship was what got me here.
I've been grateful ever since.
In many ways, the 120th anniversary provides us with a great opportunity for celebration, looking back and looking forward. We believe that we're at a pivotal, transformative moment in the history of the institution.
I'm delighted that the university is taking on this capital campaign because it needs the resources to grow and stay competitive for the future.
It's very important for us to give back to the university that's given so much to us. I feel it's only right to give back.
We're really asking people to step up and really make a difference at the university.
It's important to give back to something that was so much part of your past and so much part of your success.
I really feel as if we're all working together to try to make the university as strong as it possibly can be.
The ability to make an impact with your gift is very, very important. And you certainly have that at the University of Scranton.
The gifts of our donors and the products of their generosity go well beyond the bricks and mortar piece. They go into the lives because we do a transformational education.
As a result of my education here, it really set a very good framework for the rest of my life.
We're always part of this community, and no matter where we are, there's always a little bit of Scranton with us.
It's a place we can go to our mind over and over and find contentment and peace. And it's so great to have that as part of my life, and I think it's a common bond for many alumni.
It's a new day, and the university has to be ready for that new day.
This place is happening, and it's happening now. I want to be a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 24th President of the University of Scranton, the Reverend Scott R. Pillars of the Society of Jesus.
It is a new day at the University of Scranton. It is happening now, and my fondest hope is that you will all be a part of it. Be a part of Scranton pride. Our pride, as exemplified by Rita DeLeo, the real president of the University of Scranton. Be a part of our Scranton passion, a passion that animates all that we do here, from waxing eloquent about Socrates, to winning on the soccer field, to volunteering over spring break in Alaska. Be a part of Scranton's promise, the promise of a great Catholic and Jesuit university, to labor along with God, advancing God's greater glory and the well-being of humankind. The work we do here today and in the days ahead is every bit as vital as it was in 1888 when Bishop O'Hara dreamt that his new college, St. Thomas College, would light up our valley with the fires of learning. Shaped since 1942 by the spirit of St. Ignatius Loyola, our horizons are broader now, and our aim even more ambitious: to go and set the world on fire. Students get their start at Scranton. A spark is ignited in them by our incomparable faculty. Then the magic of Scranton begins, doesn't it? The magic of an academic community where people care deeply for one another. As one parent put it, Scranton is the kind of place where if anybody trips, everybody stops to help them up again. It's hard to explain to outsiders, isn't it? Or as the character Phyllis in The Office says to a new Dunder Mifflin employee, "You have a lot to learn about this town, sweetie." So here's what I've learned in my 7 years at Scranton, the most privileged period in my Jesuit life. This university, from its humble origins up to this fine hour, keeps exceeding expectations. If you looked up the word magis in a dictionary of Jesuit phrases, you would find a picture of our campus, our students, our faculty, our staff. You would find a picture of yourselves. You epitomize the restless Ignatian desire for excellence, grounded in gratitude. That's why we are here tonight. First, we are grateful for all the graces given and received at Scranton, now going on 125 years, for generations of generous benefactors who have supported and sustained this university. Not too long ago, I had a look at Bishop O'Hara's ledger, in which he recorded gifts, the first gifts, for the founding of this college. Our founder had the audacity to dream big and to ask for help accordingly. His spirit inspires me to do the same tonight. I need your help to achieve the unprecedented goal of this Pride, Passion, Promise campaign. As Pat mentioned, 2 years ago, we announced a public goal of $100 million. That was audacious. But thanks to the help of so many people in this room and so many people who love this university so well, we have already exceeded that goal with 1.5 years left in the campaign. So with the approval of our Board of Trustees, we have raised our goal to $125 million in anticipation of celebrating our 125th anniversary. $125 million is a big number for the University of Scranton. But we have big needs, and we have even bigger aspirations. We needed the DeNaples Center, and we built it. We needed Condren Hall, and together we built it. We needed the Dion Green, and together we built it. We need a new science center, and together we are building it. The Colossus rises day by day. We need a new apartment-style residence hall for our juniors and seniors. And starting this summer, we together will build it. Together we will also build our endowment and provide scholarships for deserving students, as well as support for our incredible faculty. I am so confident that you, like our first benefactors, will stretch toward our goal. And on our part, as Pat mentioned, we plan to ask every living graduate and our many, many friends to join us in this effort to transform our campus and to secure our future. I am confident too, because we have been and remain very lucky in volunteer leadership in this campaign. Sometimes it takes a leap of faith to get things going. Think of 1888. Think of 1942. 2 years ago, I asked some dear friends, John and Maggie Mariotti, to take a leap of faith and become leaders in this campaign. Things for the university and for me have never been quite the same. Since then, I have learned that John and Maggie always say yes when it comes to the University of Scranton. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my good friend, John Mariotti.
Yes again, Father, because I'm not great at public speaking, but... Well, I graduated from the University of Scranton in 1975, and what an unbelievable change. From dodging cars, crossing Linden Street to try to get to St. Thomas and Loyola, to Dion Green, and to the DeNaples Center, and Condren Hall, and the new Science Center. We're really literally changing the profile of the city of Scranton. It's great to drive on the Scranton Expressway and see these new buildings going up. It's really a great sign of progress, and we really appreciate it. We really all have something in common in this room tonight, and it's great to say that. We all have a love of and for the University of Scranton. My family is very committed to the university. As I said, I graduated 35 years ago. As you've heard, my wife Maggie is currently on the Board of Trustees. And most importantly to us now, our daughter Jane is going to be graduating in next week. She is going to graduate, Father, right? Okay. I have witnesses, so we're good.
Don't tell her the diploma's already signed.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. It's funny because when I talk to my daughter Jane about her experience here, it's the same thing that I had 35 years ago. A feeling of just belonging, a feeling of family, a feeling of being a real person in class and knowing your professors and knowing the staff. And these are feelings that everyone has echoed here tonight. I mean, we really feel like you belong at this place. And it's had such a change in my own daughter that, much to our surprise and delight, she's applied for and received a Jesuit volunteer place in Atlanta, Georgia this year. So that's something we never thought would happen with our daughter, but it's been just such a great experience for her. So, I mean, I think that the magic spell that this university casts on everyone that goes here and everyone who's associated with it has given us so much, and so much to be thankful for. And I hope that you feel like we do, that giving to the University of Scranton is priceless. It is a great feeling, and I promise it's something you'll really be happy to have done. Thank you.
Thank you, President Plars, President DeLeo. I just want to set one thing straight. Not everybody in this room is thrilled that John and Maggie's daughter Jane is graduating, because she has been babysitting for my wife Amy and me since freshman year, and we're losing her. So, you know I'm kidding, of course. That concludes the program tonight, folks. I want to thank you again for coming this evening and for making time to hear the story about the campaign. To those of you who have already committed to this campaign, I want to reiterate Father Pilar's thank you. You really have helped us transform this campus in very visible ways. In fact, just recently we were with an alumna of the university, and we were telling her, in fact, showing her all the changes taking place at the university. And this is what she said upon seeing that. She said, quote, "I came to the University of Scranton 15 years ago, not because of the look of the place, but because of the feel of the place. Now, the University of Scranton has both the look and the feel, and that's quite a combination," she said. And I think many of you who have committed to this campaign are to thank for that. For those of you who haven't, we'd ask you to take a look at the information that we'll distribute upon leaving and think about ways that you might join Father Pilar's in this effort to transform the campus and secure the future. Thank you again for coming tonight. I hope you'll join us at the reception following in the McElhaney Ballroom. It's just out the doors and across the way. I promise you, you can't miss it. Thanks again for being here.